So I don't know that many, or if any of you know, when I started here as the intern back in August, I was working part-time at a child care center. Unlike the preschool here, it had kids that were 4 months old all the way up to pre-kindergarten, so right before they went into kindergarten. I was a floater and often co-teacher. The room that I was a co-teacher in the most was called Wobblers. And as you can maybe imagine, Wobblers is that magical age where most of the kids have started to crawl, and in the time that they're there, they stand, they can walk, and they're saying some new words. So it was really a pleasure to be in that room with my co-teacher. Now, a lot of the teachers at that center were pretty young. They were early 20s, even late teens, and most of them were not mothers. So I imagined what would it be like to write a Mother's Day letter to my co-teacher. So sort of in lieu of a sermon, but also as a sermon, my letter is to my co-teacher. I'll be using different names, of course. Dear Riley, how's it going? I hope you're finding ways to balance your work and fun life. I know it can be tough because this work is really draining, but it is such important work, and because you fill a critical role in the lives of these very young, impressionable, and precious children. I wanted to write this letter to you to talk about why this is so important, this work that we do, why what you do matters, and why we need to keep learning, both about the growth and development of children and of adults, us. Your continued thriving in this environment is essential, and it is what I hope for you. When I was working with you, I remember hearing from a parent one time how their child, when they were just learning like 1 or 2 words, probably said your name more than any other word. It took you a day to figure out what that was until they said it right in front of you. Miss Whitey. Oh, right, Miss Riley, your name. I think this hopefully makes it clear to you that your influence on them and the impact of their development can sometimes be just as important as what they get at home. The families count on you and all of those in the center to provide love and respect, unwavering support in their development. And it's often that the parents are also feeling very difficult to leave their child with us day after day. So they rely on us even more than we can know. Now, I know we all have lives. You have a life outside of the center. A healthy life is key for your personal thriving. Your being present and healthy every day at your work matters. But you're also human. At times, you can get sick. You might overwork, overplay, overstress. Things come up in your life that take you away from work. Life never lets us be 100% ourselves 100% of the time. So I advise you to give yourself some grace. Take time off when you feel you need it. The job will always be there for you. The demand will be as great, if not greater, when you come back. So do what you need to do to stay in it for the long haul, or at least as long as your heart is in it. It's Mother's Day today, and I wanted to talk to you about that incident that happened at one time where a young boy that had been in your care came up to you and said, "Mama." You're still so young, and you always made it clear to me you're not nearly ready to have a family or be a parent. And added to that, you share that, well, your relationship with your own mother is maybe not that life-affirming for you, or life-affirming for you. So when that boy intentionally looked up at you with those big blue eyes and said, "Mama," I could tell you didn't know what to say, and it might have been a little hard for you. Now, the center tells us that everybody gets called mother or mom at some time. They tell us on Mother's Day to remind us of this traditional role that we're doing in the lives of these families. It's supposed to be affirming to anyone who might want to be a mother someday. But this implicit message that you should be honored to be called mom, even accidentally, is not something that you want to thrust upon you. Being called mom and getting a Mother's Day card are probably not things you asked for, and yet here I am writing you a Mother's Day letter. But stay with me. I hope you appreciate what I have to say. First off, everyone was mothered biologically into this world. The scientific definition even says one who gives birth to offspring is what a mother is. But we know Mother's Day isn't just about that. If it were, what would greeting cards say? Happy anniversary of your successful birthing of a child? Or congratulations on the completion of your procreation procedure? Maybe just happy birthing day? No, we know Mother's Day and mother is loaded with implied meaning, societal expectation, and historical reference. Wrapped up in all of that sentimental significance is the tie of the biological hardware to the gender identity and the role. And then there's messaging in ads, and TV, in movies, magazines, books, social media. Paints a picture of what, in many ways, a traditional mother is supposed to be. A lot of times we see that image of a female-presenting person wearing an apron and often holding something, assuming that they're going to stay home or they're going to be home all the time to take care of the kids, cook, clean, look pretty, do all those things that you need to do to upkeep the house, and also be the compassionate one among some of the other traits. Some may connect with this image, but it's certainly not true for every mom. There are many different ways to identify a mom, and new situations continue to arise. You have that book. Remember that book in our classroom, All Moms? There are other books, too, that show us there's a diverse understanding of what being a mom looks like. Besides the moms that there definitely are who have multiple children in the center, and they're there a few days and then they stay home with them on other days, there are also a wide variety of moms that come to the center. There are single moms, families with two moms. There have been families with two dads, families with non-binary parents, and sometimes there's a mix of binary and non-binary parents. And then there's the multi-generational families, and often we see the grandparents or even sometimes uncle come in. There's probably more in other centers that we don't even see. I think this gets at the heart of what I'm trying to tell you in today's Mother's Day message. It's not always the one who is biologically linked to us who carries the title mom or primary caregiver. The biological link is only part of a more complex puzzle. The name mom is another layer of that complexity. Strictly speaking, I could never be mother because I don't have that hardware to be birthing a child, but yet my biological link is possible, is part of the puzzle. And in terms of what I do and traits I have, I could be defined as mom. Life requires certain physical things to connect in order to make the magic happen, but how a family comes together and who does what varies a great deal. Other family configurations that make us wonder what to call our primary caregivers. There's one, for example, children who have no biological link but are with their adopted parents, or perhaps they're with foster parents. These children are removed from the biological link, but they still need a caregiver. They need someone to call mom or dad or one of the multitude diverse names that, that are conceived to match the diversity of family constellations. It's not always mom or mama, dad or dada. And of course, there's a variety of languages as well where the name's different. But we know one child at the center, Charlie, has two moms, and one's Mimi and one's Nana. Parker, who's picked up by her primary caregiver, her grandmother, is Nana. And then in that all moms book, the child Jamie has two dads who give hugs just like moms. I wonder what Jamie calls them. It's really interesting to see the great variety of names that caregivers have. Then there are children who sometimes have come through the center who have lost a tie with their biological mother because their mother has passed away. And those children hold in grief their mother, as sometimes they are able to embrace a new mom, but with a heavy heart and with caution. I don't know if I ever told you, but my wife and I don't have a traditional biological link with our children either. We had to use a donor egg. But my kids know who their mom was, and they never questioned it, because as they grew, we always talked to them about the realities of where they came from. And they understand what I think other kids came to know, that it's the traits and actions of our guardians, our primary caregivers, and the time we spend that most often define one as mom or mama or Mimi, or Mobby, Nana, Baba, Ima, or a host of other names. Naming choices are actually really important in this way because they help us break norms that no longer fit this wider, broadening understanding of diversity, both by speaking multiple languages and by understanding that gender roles and identities vary greatly. I hope this letter gives you an appreciation for the variety of family constellations that are represented in our center and how many more there are out there in this world. Maybe it might give you insight into your own family dynamics. Awareness helps us grow as people, and when we grow and are in a position to teach others, we can multiply that knowledge. I hope that you know that you are a gift to this center. Your continued presence and dedication to learning and growth matter more than you can know. I hope that you continue to stay connected with other teachers, with admin, because they all want the best for you, and they want you to succeed. Just keep being the wonderful Miss Riley that you are to those precious little ones, and that you will be to those who come through the center in the future. You make a difference in every one of their lives and in the lives of their home parents and guardians. And finally, may you know that you are loved beyond measure and without conditions. I will always hold you in my heart and will be there whenever you call. I remain your favorite former co-teacher, Mr. Michael.